Alright, what's up y'all? I'm Javar. This is DUSAFARMS, and in this grow vlog I'm going to be showing you guys an update on the Hey Abby grow box, which is right here behind me. You can see through a little window. We got some green stuff going on, and we're supposed to be in flower. Now I ran into some issues. Like I said, I've been kind of documenting and showcasing everything I've run into thus far, whether it's been through Discord, so check out the Discord if you aren't already, or like my Instagram, Twitter. I've been trying to throw glimpses out there. Mainly I've just been like documenting on my end, recording, and then those who ask I tell them. But I've been trying to do a video every few weeks or whatever and just showcase. But with us being a few weeks into flower, I didn't realize we were a few weeks into flower. I'm going to show you guys what it's looking like. But I'm 3 weeks into flower. As of today, I'm 3 weeks into flower. Just started week 4. So 21 days, 22 days into flower. This whole time I flipped into flower, it felt like a week ago. They stretched crazy. They got up to the very top. And then I was at work one day and I was thinking, I was like, man, I wonder how those plants, I wonder how my plants are looking, or I just, want to know how far they are in the process or whatever. I'm thinking about the other plants. I'm like, okay, these are going to be done this time, that, how you get to thinking and trying to guesstimate when they're going to be done. And I was like, dang, I ain't really been paying attention to that Hey Abby grow box. I've been, just refilling and, doing my thing. Time seems to be passing by fast because of all my attentions on the other things. Now that I got this, going, is doing this thing. So check it out. And I'm like, all right, I'm through. I checked through the app. I'm thinking I started flower maybe a few days to a week ago. No, I'm 3 weeks into flower, and I'm just like, what? I'm like, I got to see how those plants are looking. I don't think, I'm based off what I last remember seeing, really paying attention to it. It didn't look like I was that far into flower because I would have saw little buds and stuff. And I also don't remember the lights cutting off at all. I just remember the lights being on 24/7 because I seen somebody else say that. And I was like, man, I think my lights are on 24/7. I was like, or maybe, I was like, the off chance, maybe they're just coming on and turning on while I'm asleep. But I was like, if they're in flower, they're getting at least 12 hours of darkness. Typically, right? That's what the common thing. I would assume they would do the same thing. So I was like, at some point, I've definitely had to come in while they were supposed to be on that 12 hours. There's no way if it's off 12 hours that I wouldn't have come in at any time of the day and at least caught them off. And this whole time, I have not caught the lights off at all. Always 24/7. It has little dials up here. I'll show you, but it has when it's cloudy, when it's nighttime, when it's sun time, because it kind of increases the temperature or increases the. I'm assuming it starts off with the cloudy. I'm assuming it's just okay, sun is just coming up. And then when it's full sun, it's all right, it's fully at the thing's at 100%, because they don't allow you to change it and dim it yourself. That is my biggest complaint. They should allow you to adjust the light schedule, see the light schedule so you know it, and you're not just blind going in. You should at least know when the lights are going to cut off. You don't know unless you come out here and time it yourself if your system's working. Mine was not working, however. Mine was not turning off at all. So I was like, fuck, let me, email support. Maybe they could do a firmware update or something like that, and it could fix it. And in the meantime, me doing that, I was just touching stuff. I disconnected and reconnected it, sent that message to let them know what was going on. And then once I reconnected it, I realized the lights were off. I was like, wait. This is the first time the lights are cutting off. I through the screen right here, I had the cover off of it, and I seen those pitch black. And you can see how it kind of transitions from dark. That's the bottom of the canopy up. So that's pretty cool. You can kind of see where the light's hitting at in there. So you can really see what you need to when you're lollipopping, where you need to go as far as what you need, where you need to trim up to if you're lollipopping. Pretty much, you can see exactly where the light's hitting, and so that's pretty cool. But other than that, what you could do that without that screen door. You could just do it looking at the canopy overall on any plant setup. But overall, I'm just sitting there what the fuck, I emailed them right after that. It works. I'm just oh, well, as of right now, I guess it's working. I'll keep you updated. I'm just catching this. I'm bummed because I'm thinking I have at least, now that I found out it was 3 weeks, I'm like, okay, maybe I got another month, 40 days, whatever, of flower. No, they're not even flowering because they've been on 24/7, and no wonder they've been stressed this entire time. The stress I ran into at first, it's been just because, they need the period of darkness so they can heal, recover, and bounce back. You got to get your sleep, got to get your rest in. I know some people run 24/7. I just don't. I want to allow my plants, I do 18/6. I want to give my plants some time to recoup and get ready for the next day. I don't want to keep them going you know, because in nature that's not how it goes. Now autoflowers are different because I know where, you know, where they come from. It's like light 24/7. So with autoflowers, I see people doing that a lot. It's more common because they're autoflowers, the genetic makeup and how they're going to grow. I think that's more common to run a 24/7. But regardless, I think, you know, there needs to be a nighttime. It's only natural. When we start to get too, you know, out there, we start to like, we already mess with them enough. We need to at least keep them as far as like close to home as we can. So yeah, that's been the case. We're 3 weeks into flower, but we're not in flower. I'm thinking we're 3 weeks into flower, but we're not. Right up to the very top, these gnats have been a problem this entire time. Don't even know how they're surviving in here. I just gotta keep spraying, and the lights don't cut off. So with me spraying them while the lights are on 24/7, it's been tearing the plants up because of the oils. You know, the IPM is made to be sprayed lights off, or at least right before the lights cut off. And with the lights not cutting off at any point, I still had to spray it, but I was being like, you know, I was scared. And then we started running into some, you know, leaves. And now with the leaves being up here, we're really running into it. Like leaves are burnt. You know, that light is really destroying those top leaves because we're touching the light. They're starting to bend over. They're touching it so much. At this point, I could just put another light outside of them and grow them outside of this box the way it's going, which that would be dope to do. Just throw it in the tent and then let it grow outside of it so I don't even have to worry about it. But I'm gonna do that. But for the case of this video and this grow style, I just want to keep it exactly how it's supposed to be. Other than the only thing, like I said, I had to change the nutrients because those nutrients, it was just something wrong with them, and I had to go with the Athena. I needed something sterile, something I wasn't gonna gunk it up and it was gonna dissolve. So yeah, that's what's been going on. And this is the Mac Nana 2 cut, which I completely threw the mom away. So I was kind of, I don't know, I try to make a decision, but now I want to grow it back. We do got some nice lower green ones, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trim it all. I'm gonna just take it all off, take the top off now that the light is fixed. And I'm kind of bummed because I got to take it like down. And I had already did some lollipopping and I already did a little trim and defoliating, but now I'm about to do like some major stress into this plant. And we're not even in flower. That's the worst part about it. So the app is tracking that we're in flower, but we're not. So this is, they need a, my biggest complaint, I'm going to do a review overall, but my biggest complaint is the ease of use of the app and just the maneuverability of it and the access to things within the app itself. I feel like it needs the light schedule. You got to have the light schedule. I'm gonna come up with an actual video in my review and go more in depth with it because I may miss some stuff. But as far as like my critiques, the light schedule, you need to be able to adjust it. If not, be able to see what the light schedule is. I definitely feel like there should be a dim setting to where you could run, say you run into something like this, where you're like, fuck, you got a plant that stretches. You weren't expecting that. You don't want to trim it, but you also don't want to burn them. Okay, you should be able to dim the light. That way you don't have to worry about, you know, something like that. You could just dim the light. You don't have to worry about burning the plants. But the light schedule is one of the biggest things. And then as far as the app, like you have to like wait for certain stages, and it's just, I don't know, it's a bit confusing and just like, I mean, once you get familiar with it, you're familiar with it, but they could definitely make it more grower friendly. Like, I don't know, I don't really like the whole social media aspect they have to it. It's cool to show your grow and stuff like that, but I don't personally I'm not showing mine. I don't really care for that. I think more time and effort could be put into other things. I don't get the whole oxygen points. You do stuff, you get rewarded to unlock, say, because everything's set on the schedule, right? And if you got oxygen points or whatever through doing various tasks, like the task you're gonna do, you just gotta log it and say you did it. Like, hey, I lollipopped, hey, I trimmed, I defoliated. You get points, and then with those points, now you're able to say you want to go into flower early. You use those points to unlock flower early, and you can start your flower early. Whereas it shouldn't be like that. If you want to do, say you're running clone, me, I veg my clones out for 7 to 14 days. I don't want to wait a whole month with clones. With seeds, sure, I want to wait the whole 30 days, but with my clones, like, I just want to flip them to flower. So the fact that I got to do different things in order to do that type of stuff, it's annoying. Like, for sure, I think there could be some improves. I think, bring me over to the team, like, really pick my head. But this is just my critiques. Now, I'm not saying it's terrible, but what I am saying, these are like the biggest things that I see that would extremely improve this, especially at the cost of the thing, how much it's cost. I think this would only make it, worth it. You got to implement, when something being this expensive, you got to implement every little detail. It's got to be perfect. There shouldn't be any complaints other than the price, Of course, people are going to complain about that and the size of it and everything like that. But for what it is, you got to like go all out. That's why I wanted to do this. And this ain't me bashing or anything like that. This is just me keeping it real with everybody. Because I know it's a bunch of people out there that are growing it. A lot of people are having great success. Like, I was killing it until this light schedule thing happened. So they got to be like, that's faulty on me because I should have caught it faster. It's just one of those things, you know, hands off, let it do its thing. And, you know, give it the benefit of doubt. And when I should have been doubting, you know, I had my doubts originally and I should just stuck them through. But that's error on both sides. Firmware, and then, you know, as myself not being on top of it as a grower, just letting it do its thing. But I shouldn't have had to worry about that. But now I know next time I'll pay attention to those things like that. And hopefully with me saying this, anybody from the Hey Abby team, I'm gonna email them and everything. I already did, but I'm gonna let them know, like, hey, implement the light scheduling. You got to get that, because I can't be running into stuff like this. I got some experience, you know, I've been growing for 2 years now, but I still got a lot to learn, right? Whereas imagine a brand new grower gets this machine and they don't know. They're not going to catch it. They don't know their lights they got to flip. You know, at first you don't really know you got to flip your lights. So I know some people don't. I've met some growers and they just like, yeah, I've been running 24/7. I haven't flipped. What does flipping mean? Or, you know, so those are things that a lot of new growers don't know. They just know they need a light, seed, soil, whatever. They don't know about nutrients. You know, there's a lot of things they don't know about. So these type of things, of course, I don't think it's for a brand new grower, but it can be if they implement the things like simplifying it down and making it the ease of use and all that. I think it could be a lot better. But overall, like I said, I'm gonna chop them down, record it. You're gonna see this entire grow. You can see every problem I ran into. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I try my best to, you know, do my best, but at the end of the day, that's all I can do is try my best. So it may not always come out the best, but if I give it the best, you know, hey, it's just one step closer. So like I said, I'm gonna just chop them. Make sure you follow along, join the Discord. If you're a new grower out there or any grower period, you want to talk to other growers, you want to learn some stuff, you want to, you know, just share stuff with others, and you just want to pick others' brains, it's a great thing to do. Join the Discord. There's so many knowledgeable people in it, and it's just, you know, a community to be a part of. But I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I'm gonna just, you guys can see the gist of it. I don't really need to zoom in. I got it on tripod right now, but that's pretty much the end of this. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Until next time, peace.